Hey, what's up? I'm SwitchBackMongo. The Minecraft house, a staple of the survival Let's Play, how nearly every journey in this game begins. It's as simple as 4 walls, a roof, and a door, just to create a space to safely sleep and store basic supplies. But with it, there's so much room for expression, endless combinations of blocks to construct what is a house. And the design can say a lot about the player who made it. Now, to be honest, I've never been proud of what my houses have said about me as a Minecraft player. Granted, I haven't built too many. But looking back at my past Minecraft worlds, I can see that my houses would say that I was a player who would cut corners, didn't care, just couldn't figure it out. Or more recently, my house would say that I was a player that was at least trying to figure it out. But that isn't what I want my house to say, which is why a few weeks ago, I moved away in my hardcore Minecraft world to start a new adventure, and I decided to build a house that I'm proud to call home, no matter how much time or effort it takes me. It was certainly a challenge to overcome. I've always claimed that small builds are my greatest weakness. The process brought me through some highs and many, many lows. I had to do a lot of reflecting and searching. By the end of it, I feel like this project broke me down and rebuilt me as a new player, and I'm very excited for the future of my world. So come with me on that journey, and let's build a Minecraft house. When starting construction on a house, what is the first step? No, seriously, please help, because I have no idea what I'm doing here. Do you pick your materials? Make a footprint? Build the front, maybe? I don't know where to begin. But I made a poor assumption and thought that maybe if I just start placing blocks, I'll be able to mold them into a build that at least resembled a house. I mean, that's how all the pro builders do it, right? They just kind of place blocks wherever, remove the ones they don't like, and then bam, they got a nice build. It shouldn't be too hard. So on stream one night after finding the new 1.18 music disc, easy, dude. I told you we'd find it on the first day. And naming my new puppy, Mabel. Mabel, welcome to the family. I decided to begin this project, and I thought that I could just wing it? Hopefully I can make a good looking house. This is always scary, like a scary step for me. I feel like as soon as you place a couple of logs, it's like committing, and I don't like committing to builds. I also need to start getting like stone brick ready to go. I think stone brick will be something I want to use a lot of. I think these logs are gonna be replaced with spruce, so this dark oak will make a lot more sense once I actually have the full thing done. I think I need stone brick as like a foundation. Build up a couple more blocks of these columns. What's a good floor material? What are people building floors out of these days? I don't know. I think I'm gonna tear all this down. I don't know if I like how this is going so far. I have some stuff to do. I quickly figured out that this was not the smart way to go for this project. Just digging through my chest to see which blocks could work and placing them in the build. That ain't it, chief. After a bit of building, it almost looked like I was just making a second version of my first house in this world. So attempt 1 was unsuccessful. But honestly, building on stream is just really hard. So the next day I was more confident, and I woke up with a better idea of materials because I did not like the look of this. At least not here in the valley. All right, listen, I think I got the materials figured out. Now hear me out, because looking at these written down, it's like, but I think it will be cool. I got stripped oak and birch for the walls, and then mossy cobble and oxidized copper for the roof. Huh? I think that'll be pretty cool. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go with my gut. It's gonna be good. So after removing my first attempted house, sadly not from my memory, I went out to collect my materials, really just the copper because that's all I was missing, which in 1.17 I was pleasantly surprised to be able to mine 16 stacks per hour, similar rates to many copper farm designs. But holy moly, did that change in 1.18. Yo, I've been recording for 16 minutes and I have 2 shulkers of raw copper. What the heck? How does that compare to the copper farm designs? I need to put that on screen. Editor me? I guess that's really all I need. I just need to smelt these puppies up and start building. 8 stacks of copper smelting. Listen, since not thinking yesterday didn't seem to work out for me, I'm gonna try going back to overthinking. And here's what I got, right? You see how the shape of this plot sort of makes a backwards L shape? I think I should make my house follow that to make it look like it actually belongs here. At least I think that makes sense. Plus, L houses are in right now. Everyone loves those. Seems like a no-brainer. I think I could do it. I think I can make this happen. All right, 5 blocks is too tall. But I just kind of want that kind of thing going. I want this to be 2 floors tall. I want a second floor on top of this, but I don't know what the right play is. Do I try to figure out all of the walls and inside spaces of the first floor before I do the second? Or do I try to get the framework up to the second floor already? Okay, Here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure out the roof plane for this outer bit because it's a lower roof than this centerpiece. This section, this outer L, is only gonna be 1 floor. I know that for a fact. The big space is what's gonna be 2 floors. And that's gonna be the hardest part probably. Minecraft be kinda hard though. Mabel, I need a second opinion. Can you come help me out real quick? Do you think this is a good shape? Taking a look at that corner. Not a fan of the oak, huh? It's gonna be stripped. I think it's gonna be okay when it's stripped. Oh, but you don't like it with the birch. Yeah, looking at it, I don't think I do either. We're just trying to figure out the shape right now. We'll come back in and do all the materials. Shape's good? Okay, good. I thought so too. Little did I know that this footprint alone would lead to the downfall of this project. The idea of the L shape fitting with the landscape was good, but this was just massive. And I guess I had no sense of the scale until I actually built the thing. I think we're gonna need more cobble. I haven't said a single word in a couple of hours now, and I don't know what I'm doing. This is not going how I want it. The longer I work on this house, the more I feel like I can tell I don't like it, which is frustrating because at the same time, I'm telling myself not to listen to those thoughts because I don't want to be Mr. Negative Nancy. Oh, I don't like anything that I'm making. And I think I just gotta be real now. I don't think I can fix this. Oh, this is bad. I think what I need to do is I just need to take all of this down and start over. Peepo Sag. That's me. I cannot put into words how I felt taking all of this down. I put 8 hours into this build, and I had almost no more time to record that weekend. Even though that I knew it'd be slower than one of my big build projects, I still thought it could be done in a full day's work. So as I officially called it quits, not only did I feel like I failed my build, but I feel like I failed my channel too. I always have something built by the end of the weekend and edit it up for a video a few days later. But this week, despite putting the time in, I was setting myself back to where I had absolutely nothing. I couldn't sleep that night thinking about it. The next day, I knew I couldn't continue like this. I needed to take the time to let this discouraged mentality wear off. Otherwise, I would just be forcing a build that I wasn't happy with. I decided to put the hardcore world on hold altogether. For a full week, I didn't even open it. Really, that was just because I was out of town. And while I was gone, I realized this project was just too big to be done in the time that I'd given it. And I'll tell you why. You see, this is not just a house to me. This is an opportunity to prove to myself that I can do something that I've always told myself I couldn't. After seeing some success with the large build projects I create, I've grown comfortable with just assuming that I can't make a small build project that looks good. But if I was gonna finally end that reputation, I couldn't expect it to be as easy as an 8-hour building session. And after having that revelation, I came back from my time away with a plan. Let's get positive now, because this is where it's gonna get good. For the first time ever, I'm not gonna give myself a deadline on a build. I'm not gonna focus on recording live commentary so that I can put every ounce of focus I have into the actual build. And I'm not gonna accept any design that I'm not 100% pleased with. Anything short of perfection in my eyes will be removed and reattempted. No cutting corners, no giving up. This is gonna be something I'm proud of. So what actually changed that made this house come together so much easier than the first design? Well, I could tell about halfway through the second attempt that I was building just way too big, to the point where I couldn't really call this a small build project anymore. What is this, man? Like, am I trying to make a new ocean monument project? Like, what am I even gonna put in here? All of this space for a bed, chest, and crafting table, probably. So the first thing that I did was I reduced the footprint down to just this rectangle, and a small one at that. And with a simpler shape like this, it was so much easier to picture the walls and the roof. But I also didn't like how in my second attempt, the walls of both floors were made of the same materials. It just made it look boring. So I made sure to vary those materials as I built those up, using stone on the first floor and then oak on the second. And it looked pretty good. Why didn't I just do this the first time? It feels like common sense. You take the heavier material, you put it on the bottom, and then the lighter one you put up top. I feel like I should have known this. But now the scariest part, the roof. Nah, I'm just gonna do a regular 45-degree roof up here because the second I try something more complicated, I know that's when it's all gonna go downhill. It's not even bad. This is actually starting to look like a house. This is where I was able to start having some fun because I had a shell that I knew I could make into a house, and I could really just start adding whatever details I wanted at this point. Cut out some windows, add some planters in front of them, make an entrance. This was moving quickly now, but moving quick means I have time to do more now. So I decided to extend the house a bit. I thought it'd be so cool if my house sort of became this wall protecting a garden and the shack that I built for my pets behind it. So I built a bridge across what would later become a pathway, and on the other side, I made a watchtower. For no reason in particular. I mean, what am I gonna watch? Copper oxidize? Oh boy, looks like that one's done. Gonna put that clip in the montage. But I thought it would just look good, and I feel like I was right. But the bridge connecting to it was probably the hardest part about the thing. But I made sure to stay patient and not get frustrated if the shape of it didn't look good right away. And it did take a lot of tweaking, both of the materials and the shape, but it did eventually look pretty natural for the build. Man, this is starting to look real. This is awesome. I feel like the trick the whole time was to start simple and then go crazy, instead of imagining crazy the whole time. I'm kind of excited about this. I think I just want to try a bit of landscaping just to make it look even better before going to bed. You know what? This feels rushed. I think I should just save it for later. The next day I picked up interiors, finally adding all the floors and stairs before trying to make some details. And I'll be honest, I had to look at Reddit to figure some of this stuff out. Like this clock right here is straight up ripped from a post on there. You know what's really funny about this though? I never realized how practical the clock in this game actually was. Like I could tell whether it's night or day easy, but so often I've been like, oh, how much time is left before the sun goes down? And I'll run all the way outside to check where the sun is in the sky. And this just makes me feel silly now. As my boy Lettuce would say, I am a fool. Adding details to the interior allowed me to bring some color into this place, really making it feel a lot more homey. And I still made sure to find a way to incorporate everything that a house needed. Bed, storage, tools, and even an enchanting setup. Sure, it was tough for me to figure out how to organize it all, but the struggle was worth it in the end. Everything felt like it was right where it was meant to be, and the build felt alive. And finally, it was time to continue that theme onto the garden. The home stretch. Upon finishing the build, I realized that I had it in me the whole time to tackle what I thought that I couldn't. All I had to do was break the habits of picturing big and building fast. But with a total time of 21 hours, I've proven to myself that I can build a freaking house. I want to thank you all for watching me struggle through this. I know it's been a mess. However, I do still have one more part of the house to share with you, a piece that I've omitted from the plot thus far. As we pass through the workshop and the living quarters and onto the tower, one final piece to the build lies below it. I want to welcome you all to my new library. And this room's pretty cool because it's not a room for me. It's actually a room for you guys. You, sitting right there, watching this video. I see you. I see you. And I saw Etho do this thing with his Let's Play series, and I loved it. And I'm gonna try out the exact same thing here. In here, I have 4 chests. 4 chests where I'm gonna keep 1 book and quill for every episode from now on in this series. And within each book, I'm gonna take 1 comment to keep in here forever. Because at the beginning of this world, this journey was all about building memories for me. And now that it's become such a big part of my life, you guys are part of those memories. So if you wanna be the first book to be put in the library, I'll leave it right here for you. Leave a comment, and we'll fill it out next episode. Apologies if you have OCD, but this interior is missing one amethyst crystal.